Good afternoon, it's Steve here from Wold Guitars in the East Riding of Yorkshire. There's my contact details, should you wish to contact me. If you come to me through the eBay advert or any other adverts I might have, the quickest and easiest way to get me is on this email address. I'll show this at the end of the video as well. Right, so what have I got today? I've got an exciting one, I think, for me. Let me tell you first of all, I have been building guitars, cigar box guitars and other stringed instruments for about 4 or 5 years now, since I retired, and it's purely a hobby. It's certainly not my source of income or anything of that nature. However, there is maybe a little bit of beer money involved, but I couldn't believe when I started out those 4 years ago that I would now be up to number 152. As I say, I'm not doing this as a business, so there are lots of people out there now in the UK and lots more in America who build these things purely as a business. I'm not one of them. Every single guitar comes out differently. I don't work to any prescribed sort of pattern or anything like that. Whatever materials I have available I will work with, or try to at least. So this one is what I call the painkiller. As I say, it's number 152, and the reason I call it the painkiller is because the actual box is the GTO painkiller cigars. So maybe they had a little bit of crazy weed in them, if you know what I mean. I don't know. It's a thought, isn't it? However, I don't know. I've never smoked, don't smoke, so I can't give you any insight into what these cigars were like, but I think the box is pretty amazing. Yeah, it's a real cool box. Now, when I first got it, probably had it about a year now, sat in my store. I kept on putting it to one side because, as you'll see, it's quite a slim box. If you compare it to this boy, which is at the other end of the spectrum, that's a Tabac. Yeah, it's quite slim. I normally tend to go for ones round about like that, maybe a little bit thicker. But one of the issues is if you're putting a humbucker or a single coil pickup in, you have to go down into the neck which runs through the body, and that potentially can weaken it if you haven't got enough meat underneath. So with this one I eventually overcame it by putting a flat pup pickup on, which I'll talk to you about later. But anyway, box looks cool. I've polished it up as best I can. There are 1 or 2 minor blemishes, but believe me, you won't be disappointed. Maple neck with a scarf jointed headstock. I've teamed the maple up with some sapele for the heel, and there's also some sapele running through the headstock as well. Okay. The fretboard is walnut with maple inlays. I've put some inlays there, as I say, in maple. It's got a 0 fret, but I've put a bone string guide there. As you can see, it's got gold hardware, closed tuners there, closed gear, and if we stay on the neck for the moment, I think you will see the action on this one is pretty damn amazing. It can go down some more, but for me, I wouldn't want it any lower. At the first fret, it's less than 3/4 of a mil. It's just over half, I would say. And at the 12th fret, which, if you turn over, that's the 12th marker, you can hopefully see it's not 2 mil. It's amazing. All the necks on my guitars, I always spend a fair bit of time on making sure that, I think you can see there, the frets are beveled over nicely, dressed. I level the frets out off, crown them, polish them up so that it all plays beautifully. No buzz, no rattles. With these sort of bridges that I've got on, the only time, unless there's an issue, you may come up with a rattle, and I'm just mentioning this now in case you ever have one, is if any of these little adjustment screws, can you see them there? If they're not quite biting into the base, you can get some buzz then, some rattle. Anyway, let's tell you a little bit more about her. I've already mentioned the bridge. It's a hardtail bridge. I generally, with these bridges, put them on a little bit of a shim. I've got a piece of maple in there. That gives you better adjustment, in my opinion. If you mount it straight onto the top, particularly if you put a back angle on the some relief on the neck, you haven't got a cat in hell's chance of being able to adjust it sensibly. This one, if I go the other way around so that you can see there's a bit of adjustment going up and some adjustment going down. So if you play a lot of slide and you might want the string height raised up a little bit, you can adjust them up. Great to set the intonation as well, because you've obviously got the ability to adjust the saddles back and forth. So that's the bridge. Pickups, humbucker. This is one of the original flat pup humbuckers. Not the cheapest around, but they're damn good. And so that's that boy. Underneath the bridge, I've embedded a piezo pickup into the neck. So you'll hear a bit of that later. So you've got two pickups, hence the three-way switch. Press it that way towards the bridge and you've got the piezo. To the neck you've got the humbucker, and in the middle you've got both of them. And on this one I've put not only a volume but also a tone control, finished off with these cartridge case knobs which I made. Now, not everybody's into cartridge case knobs for whatever reason. I had one gentleman say he didn't approve of guns, etc., etc., which is fine. You know, we've all got our own thoughts on matters. If you don't like them for whatever reason, don't be put off. I will gladly change those for a set of gold knurled knobs, really smart looking, which will go with it. But particularly because it's the painkiller, I thought that was, in my own warped sense of humour, that was quite in keeping, shall we say. Right, now, as I've already said, I'm more of a 6-string guitar player, fingerstyle, so don't expect wonders from me, but I will plug this baby in and show you how she sounds, because she sounds great. Right, this is going through my little Roland Microcube on clean channel, no effects, and volume, tone, etc., etc., all set at 12 o'clock, so pretty neutral. Right, let's switch her on. We'll start with the piezo. That's the piezo. I will turn it down because the humbucker really does punch out some volume. play a bit of slide, you might want to raise the strings up. I'm a bit of a sloppy slide player, so you probably hear a load of fret rattle here, but it's still certainly okay to play slide. Something to bear in mind, if you, like me, you're a sloppy player, if you keep it just on the humbucker, you won't get so much sound coming through from knocking the guitar. So. What else? As I say, if you're a rocker, you might, as I say, which I certainly am not, I'm more of a melodic ballad type player. Right, classic stack. Now, let's just give you a little taste of that. Turn it just slightly, and you've got so much volume there, it's untrue. Anyway, look, as I've said, I'm not really much of a player. I enjoy building these things far more than actually playing them. But if you are, this boy, I reckon, unique. There won't be another one out there. I don't think in the 152 guitars that I've built there has been one that has been remotely similar, other than the fact they're made of a cigar box or a shovel. I've got a shovel guitar over there, the occasional ukulele, lap steel guitar, but out of that 152 I would say at least 100 have been made out of cigar boxes, but no two have ever been the same. So you will have some unique music making or funness here. So anyway, look, if you want to chat more about it, don't forget, best contact me through my Wold Guitar email account there, and hope to speak to you. Thanks for looking. Bye.